Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you today about handling difficult moments. And this is such a topic that's near and dear to my heart because we have this image that we are supposed to be perfect and everything is supposed to be easy. And once we arrive, we will always be in control and everything will be wonderful. We'll never be afraid. We'll never be angry. And this really is not the truth. So what I want to talk about is some strategies and some background on how to handle difficult moments when they come up in your life. I'm going to be creating a course on this. There's so much information that we could talk about. So if this video speaks to you, just be on the lookout for that course, hopefully within a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. All right, so let's start by talking about why do we have difficult moments? Like, why are they in our life? Why do we have these struggles and these difficulties? So there are some very important reasons for them. And the first is that these difficult moments help us move forward. They help us uncover what is within us that needs to come to our attention. So I call this triggering. Triggering, in my definition, is when we experience something, an event in our life, and it triggers emotion that seems out of balance for whatever the event was. So maybe it's a busy morning and everything's hectic and you're trying to get ready to get out of the house and a child spills this huge bowl of food or drink all over the floor. And you don't have, in your mind, you don't have enough time to handle it, and you lose control. You end up getting really angry when, of course, it was just a spill, it's no big deal. If it had been a different time and you weren't stressed, it wouldn't have bothered you much at all. But in this moment, it makes you very angry and you get overwhelmed. That overwhelm and anger is a trigger for that emotion that is stored in your energy field somewhere, in your subconscious mind, in your physical body, a family thread, lots of origins, but it's something that needed to be triggered so that you could work through it to know that you will always have the resources you need or, whatever the story might be. But that's called triggering. When old stuff gets kicked up and we don't know it's old stuff. We think it's just the events of the present. But if we dig a little deeper, we will realize that it's likely not. It has this connection to something within us that needs to leave. Why do things need to leave? Because our frequency is continually increasing. We are continually learning, experiencing, working through energies that don't serve us, and stepping into whatever's next for us. When that happens, when we step up, things that are holding us back have to leave. It's just math. The lower frequency energies cannot reside within us as we raise our frequency. That means we're going to get triggered. We're going to have difficult moments, but we can leverage them to move forward if we can embrace them and have a process to deal with them in a way that's conscious so that we can get rid of that baggage rather than just shoving it down and moving on through the moment to the next moment. Okay, so that's really the second reason that we have these difficult moments is that we are clearing old baggage. We are triggering old stuff to work through and move it out. The last reason or one of the other reasons that we're really here to we're here to be human. We're going to have difficult moments because we are here to experience the full range of what it means to be human. We are not here to be perfect. So we mentioned that a moment ago. We're not here for every day to be easy, every day to be idyllic, everything to go perfectly, never to have obstacles. Like, that's just not reality. That's not human. And if we are perfect, we're not growing and learning. So we want to understand that these difficult moments are really levers that help us move forward. And we want to embrace them at some level. We don't want to welcome them. We don't want more of them. But when they come up, we want to really leverage them, use them for all they're worth, because that means we'll have fewer of them going forward. All right, so those are just some reasons that we have difficult moments, and just know that's not suffering for naught. It's definitely not. There's a purpose and a reason, and a good one at that. So now, how do we deal with these moments when they come up? So I have a 3-step process that I like to teach in my programs, and it's very simple. We're going to go through each step. So the first step is to recognize. So recognizing is awareness is like 80% of the solution, right? But it's very hard to recognize these patterns and that they are triggering of old stuff. Once we can, when we get triggered, we're in a difficult moment. If we can just take a second to step back and say, this is something bigger than what's right in front of me, we're recognizing the triggering, we're recognizing the root of the issue, we're recognizing the energy within us that needs to be addressed. So just recognizing that this is an old pattern, that we are angry, that we are overwhelmed, that we are sad, disappointed, whatever it might be in that difficult moment, just recognizing it is a huge step. That does 2 things. It actually sucks the energy right out of the difficult moment because we're no longer a victim of it. We are using it to our advantage. That's the biggest thing that does for us. And the second is it brings awareness. Remember, energy follows awareness. Energy follows intention. What we focus on, we bring our energy to. So as we know that there's something that needs to be cleared, we're already starting to heal it just by us being aware of it. Isn't that awesome? So the second step is to allow and honor whatever it is. So typically we get angry, we get overwhelmed, we get disappointed, we start talking ourselves out of it, right? We use our mind to distract ourselves. We have stories about why we shouldn't feel that way. We create all kinds of distractions. We might go get some ice cream or any of a million coping mechanisms other than recognizing and allowing whatever the difficult thing is in front of us. So the second step is to just allow the emotion to be there, or the thought. It can also be a thought. Maybe you don't feel safe, or you feel panicked, or you're afraid you're going to fail. Whatever it is, if we just allow and honor this energy to be here, that is our second step. So be on the lookout for coping mechanisms of all kinds and just put them on the back burner. You might catch yourself trying to do it. Just say, no, I'm just going to connect with this. So we have 3 C's here. The first C is having compassion. So you're allowing this emotion, this overwhelm, this anger, but you're doing it with compassion. You're not doing it with judgments. You want to ditch any self-judgment. Just have compassion for yourself in that moment of difficulty. The second C is to connect. Connect to the emotion. Just feel it. The overwhelm, the anger. Maybe you feel a tightness in your belly or a tightness in your chest. Maybe you feel a burning sensation. Whatever it is, whether it's emotional, somatic, whatever the energy is that you can connect with it for just a few seconds. And then release control. So don't try to control it. Don't try to talk yourself out of it. Don't try to make it go away. Don't try to say it's wrong that it's here. Just allow it to be there. This entire process of recognizing and allowing takes mere seconds, less than 15 seconds. So this is a very quick thing. And connecting with the emotion can take no more than 15 to 30 seconds. So it should be very short. We're not wallowing in anything. We're just connecting to it, making sure that we're aware. The third step of this process, so we've recognized, we've allowed and honored, we've done it with compassion, we've connected to the emotion, and we're ditching all control. The third is to give permission for it to move. So frequently we are afraid to surrender to our emotions because we're afraid they're going to become us. They're going to overwhelm us. They're going to overtake us. They're going to become us. We are our emotions. That's the belief, but it's not true. It's actually the inverse. So emotional energy is just a wave of energy, just like the ocean. If we allow that wave to move, it washes in and then it washes out again. If we try to control it, talk ourselves out of it, use coping mechanisms, we are like a dam. We are locking that energy into our body, and it's going to end up in our physical body. is going to end up with arthritis or indigestion or some kind of dis-ease within the body as that emotional energy builds up. So we don't want to store it. We want to allow it to move through and then let it leave. So the third step is just to really give the energy permission to go. And that's just telling yourself, I'm not going to hold on to it. As we do this, the energy can dissipate and it can leave. Once we have done this 3-step process, it's wonderful to move on to the next thing that's in our present reality. So we want to give time to connect, to honor, and to acknowledge the emotional energy within us, and the time to give it permission to leave. And then we want to move on. We want to look for the next action that we need to take. So what can I do to clean up the mess? What can I do to feel less overwhelmed? What can I do to set myself up for success when this situation comes up again, or if it comes up again? So this is my 3-step process for really moving through difficult moments. Give it a try. Start with something small, start with a little aggravation, like maybe when you're driving and someone cuts you off and you get a surge of emotion or something little. Start with that and experiment with this process and see where it gets you. I would love to hear if you use it, how it goes. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to connect with me on my website. I'd love to hear from you. And if this speaks to you and you have fun with this, be on the lookout for more teachings around dealing with difficult moments. All right, have a great week. See you next time.